Hello everyone, welcome to Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lolo, Montana. I think it's in the 20s today, which is the perfect day to bring a little class, a little literature to the ranch, and to all of you out there who've so kindly joined us today for a special Halloween presentation. I think I'm ranch manager Kelli today. I'm not quite sure. I'm joined by the Dunrovin Raven, Paula. And as you can see here, again, our beautiful donkey divas, Miss Gertie and Miss Maud. Much like we do annually, we have a little Halloween presentation, and we thought we'd bring a little class, much like we did at Christmas last year. And today we will present to you a very special reading of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Before I begin, I would like to give my deepest apologies to Mr. Poe. And without further ado, we will begin. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I waited, weak and weary, for dawn to break, to rouse the herd from slumber's dark shore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at the tack room door. "'Tis a helper," I muttered, tapping at the tack room door. "Only this and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was in the dark December. I started at that bleak, uncertain knocking that filled me with terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis just a helper knocking at the tack room door, some late night helper rapping on the tack room door. That it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at the tack room door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Back into the tack room turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely there is something in the frigid night. Let me see then what the threat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here I flung the door, when, with nary a blink or snore, in there stepped two smallish creatures of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made they, not a minute bowed or begged they, but with mien of queen or lady, strutted through the tack room door, stood upon the rug of wool just inside the tack room door, stood and stared, and nothing more. But the creatures, standing steadfast on the woolen rug, spoke not a word, made not a sound, as if their souls would be lost should any escape them. Nothing then they uttered, not a long ear then they fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other hooves have left before, soon enough they will leave, as other hooves have left before." Then these fattish equines, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance they wore. "Though thy bellies be round and swollen, thou," I said, "art sure no evil, no ghastly asses wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the divas, feed us more. Much I marveled these ungainly girls to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing two such well-fed beasts at the tackroom door, standing upon the woolen rug inside the tackroom door, with such a name as Feed Us More. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what they utter is their only stock and store, learned from an unhappy past when lack of forage followed fast, and faster till their hirsute hides soon bore the outlines of their bones, and learned they the melancholy score of feed us more. But the donkeys still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of them and rug and door. Then upon the vinyl sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what these ominous beasts of burden, what these grim, ungainly, fat and fatter ominous beasts of yore meant in braying, feed us more. This I sat engaged in guessing, this and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining toward the mulish dames whose fiery eyes burnt into my core. As the lamplight gloated o'er them, with the lamplight gloating o'er them, I surmised that in sustenance they were certainly not lacking. Quoth the divas, feed us more. Be those words our sign of parting, beast or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no manure as a token of those words thy souls hath spoken. Leave my peace and quiet unbroken. Quit the rug inside the door. Take thy bray from out my heart and take thy form from off this door. Quoth the divas, feed us more. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tackroom floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if donkey or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore. Quoth the divas, feed us more. And the donkeys, never blinking, still are standing on the rug of wool inside the tackroom door. And their eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er them streaming throws their shadows on the floor. The lamplight o'er them streaming throws their shadows on the floor, and the darkness shall be lifted nevermore. Turning round and deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before, leaving my soul floating on the tackroom floor. But the silence was broken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only words there spoken, a whispered plea from behind the tackroom door. Quoth the divas, feed us more. Thank you for joining us today at Dunrovin Ranch in lovely Lola, Montana for our annual Halloween presentation. Again, apologies to Mr. Poe. I do think, though, that bringing a bit of literature to a ranch in Montana does nothing but bring more grace and more joy to the world. On behalf of the Donkey Divas, Raven, Paula, and myself. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you very soon.